question was, do you like, for a man's face wash, do you prefer liquid soap or foaming soap for like a face cleanse? We know Easy likes foaming, so have you ever thought about it, or?
I'm trying to think for a face wash.
Yeah, because what do you think is gonna get in your beard better, a foam or a liquid?
Probably. I mean, I could, if it has a good enough foaming agents in, you know what I mean? Like if it's a foamy enough liquid, I'm cool with that. I think the foam, I would be okay with it personally. I just think the foam I don't know, maybe most people would think that doesn't have maybe as much oil in it, or some maybe adding the air. I don't know. All you're doing is adding air to it, I guess. I'm not sure how the whole foam
it
thing
starts
works.
as a liquid, and the only thing that turns it into foam is the actual pump. So you're saying you would probably be more comfortable. You would get more moisture with like a creamy liquid.
Yeah.
Like face beard wash, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's fair. So I'm gonna probably make that one first. I will send you guys like a whole test kit when I make it. So it's probably gonna be like maybe a week. If I get everything like by next week, I'll try to within the next 2 weeks.
Got it. Now my only problem with foaming soaps is that which I love them that they look, it's fun, it's light, it's airy, it's foam soap. But my only problem with foam soaps is it'd be hard to find ones in the store that's antibacterial. Like most of them say gentle hand soap. They don't necessarily say, you know what I mean?
With the Rona out here, we need the full antibacterial treatment.
Oh no, I mean, I'm cool with the gentle hand soap. I mean, look, we got all of Bath and Body Works' whole collection of scented hand soaps, and they smell just lovely. It's just if you scrub long enough, something gonna die.
Well, that's true.
I just want to point out that Diva, you're opening that like an absolute pro, by the way. You lush. Look at that.
Thank you.
That whole bottle gonna be gone before the end of the episode.
My McDonald's cup is just lovely, so I don't look up here like a lush.
Oh, well, this is recorded, so they already know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This is the locker room.
The pregame. There you go.
I mean, as I play Among Us.
But they are
what?
Among Us.
Who's Among Us?
He's playing it.
Oh.
It's a game.
I haven't played it yet. I downloaded it. I never played it.
Dude, you need to. I can give you the code. We're playing it.
Wait, hold on. So, what are the in-app purchases? That's always my thing. When I see but it said when I downloaded, it had a little asterisk next to it. Said in-app purchase.
It is fully free. Like there's no app purchases, none. Like you literally start a lobby, and you can have up to 10 people in the lobby, and y'all just play.
Maybe I was tripping there. I thought it said in-app purchases. I'm like, you got to buy skills, and people can run faster than other people, and I ain't feel like getting into all that. I hate games where you can buy skill. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like 2K. Looking at you, 2K.
Yeah. You don't have to be good at the game. You don't have to develop any real skill. You can just buy your way to the top.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not mess with my hair so much.
Which I'm fine with that. Like, hey, I'm either going to grind for it or you're going to let me pay for it. Yeah. If I got the money or the skill, either way.
Yeah, I just like, you got to be good, man. You got to be 100% good and build your way from the ground up. Which I'm just anti-microtransactions in games anyway. Like, once I pay for the game, that should be it. Like, don't charge me nothing else.
That's how they nickel and dime you. The best one that they had, Khujoe, on their
about to say EA is the king of that.
Spartan Ops was like the best free thing that was with a game, and they gonna stop it. Like, we played Halo 4, and we played. Remember when they had them double XP days? We'd hop on the one board. We know where we get XP to the point where it was just like, all right.
Yeah, I hate DLC like that. Like if it's gonna be a skin or something like if you want to pay to have super, like if you got like a DC game and you want to pay to have Superman wearing his black Superman suit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that's cool, but don't just make me pay outright for a character.
For more campaign,
additional campaign, additional.
That's how they bleed you to death. eventually all these gaming systems gonna be, you know, without discs anyway, and then they just, you know.
To be perfectly honest, if they charge me everything up front, if it's $120 to get everything, I'd rather have that. And don't make it an option. Like, yeah, you can still buy the $60 one, but there's a $100 one over. Like, they do that now. But like, just let everybody be on equal playing field. Like, just only offer the $100 version.
So you say you either ante up and pay the $160 and get everything, or you just don't play.
Yeah. That's it.
You just say bleep your add-ons. Like,
yeah,
I'm good. He said I'm good.
All those add-ons. I hate them.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we're going to talk about it or not, but just an impromptu subject because a friend of mine brought it up. What do you think about the Jeezy and the T.I.? Are we going to talk about that, or y'all just want to?
We kind of have. I mean, we could talk about it. And then, you know, it's going to happen on what, on the 19th of November.
Yeah. So
I feel like everybody talking about it like super early. I feel like the more I'm seeing posts online, I feel like it's happening this week or this weekend or something. But
I just think because, you know, I brought it up in the chat a couple of weeks ago.
You did.
On a poll, and only like 2 people responded, because I was like, well, I mean, I think it would be more appropriate for them, but I just thought T.I. was going to totally, I don't know, I think he could win that. I mean, Jeezy has a lot of songs, but the ones that are on airtime, I'm like, But
I mean, it's an interesting match. I mean, the matchup to me is kind of on the nose. You know what I mean? Like it's
You
a
feel
little
like
too obviously, huh?
You feel like they're even?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not gonna be a blowout. Like everybody's saying T.I. is gonna blow Jeezy out of the water. They don't know. They obviously haven't looked at Jeezy's catalog.
Jeezy got some now. Jeezy
that's
got some
what
hits,
a friend of mine said. He said Jeezy's catalog is quite extensive, but my problem is he does have a good catalog, but I don't think everybody, it's not mainstream.
Yeah. I would say Jeezy, if we do it chronologically, if you go back and look at their projects starting from, I won't say either one of their first mixtapes, because both their first mixtapes is pretty far from when they got successful. But I say their first successful mixtape. So Jeezy, Trap or Die, and I forget the name of Tips, but we can start with I'm Serious and Jeezy's first album, TM 101. T.I. don't even start to take the lead until his third album, which is Urban Legend. Because on Jeezy's first mixtape alone, he has 4 songs. And I'm not taking nothing away from Tip. I'm just saying just how even it would be up until T.I. starts to pull away when he got his Urban Legend success with like Bring 'Em Out and
yes. Yeah. And see, that was my point in the conversation, was that Jeezy can hang in for a minute, but I honestly feel like, not to take away from Jeezy's catalog, but I just think the more T.I. definitely has more commercialized songs that will make him appear in like a leader.
And it's really only, I would say, it's really only maybe 3 or 4 that Jeezy may not have an answer to. And that would be like the song, that would be Live Your Life, the one he did with Rihanna, the one he did with Justin Timberlake. And these are like crossover.
Way back.
Yeah. So this is Rihanna, the one he did with Rihanna, the one he did with Justin Timberlake.
To me,
and somebody
at
else.
one point, I thought T.I. was one of the best rappers in the game. So that's just why I feel like T.I. has the advantage, because like 2006 to like 2008, my middle school EZ was like, man, T.I. one of the best in the game. Don't at me, like.
Yeah, I mean that's my baby. Yeah, I mean that's my, like I said, I been a Tip fan. Well, it was a minute where he lost me, because when he started going commercial back then, I didn't like that. I didn't listen to the Urban Legend album until might have been 10 years ago. Like I did not like that album. Trap music was peak T.I. for me.
I was about to say the peak for me, where I felt like he like reached his highest level, was King.
That was probably his most commercial success.
Yeah, that
wasn't my favorite album.
King was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, front. You know, they had a lot of hits on there. Front Back was on there. He had a lot of.
What you know
he
about?
Was in a groove. Yeah, he had a lot of. He was in his groove at that point.
Yeah.
But Jeezy got some really like underrated tracks, like All There, great song.
Well, the summer before King came out, Young Jeezy had a big summer. Like,
well, yeah,
the summer
Soul
05, the summer 05.
Yeah.
Jeezy really did run that summer.
That was Jeezy's whole year because that was when Trap or Die came out. I mean,
So basically, the whole 2005.
He had the song "Go Get It" with R. Kelly. Before he was.
I mean, but people saying his more recent, he don't have nothing recent. I mean, he got some sleepers recent, like R.I.P. the my nigga song with Rich
I like the song that Warren G produced for him a few years ago, where Neo was singing the hook on it. The name escapes me right now, but that was a good song Jeezy did.
Can't Leave You Alone.
Shit,
that was a good song.
Can't Leave You Alone. That's what 16's talking about. Then you got I Do, which was like a all-time great track in my opinion.
Oh, what about My President Is Black? That was huge.
Yeah, My President was probably one of his biggest.
He got hits on the resume. They out there, like bag music. You can turn that stuff on right now, and it's all good.
And I actually did on Saturday. I think I bumped like I was stuck in traffic. I think I hit like 3 albums. It was all good stuff.
If they let features in there, it'll be even more interesting because Jeezy don't miss on features. That's one thing that I've always kind of.
And he was very smart in the ones that he did.
Yeah.
Like he didn't waste his talents on a song, which I appreciate by him.
Yeah, and it was like it might have been the summer, maybe 06, 07, something like that. It was like he had like 6 features that he just killed. It was like the Shouted Low feature. He was hopping on everything Cool and Dre and DJ Khaled, and he was on the Top Back remix. He's my favorite verse on the Top Back remix.
Shit, if they doing features,
Top Back, God,
he got Shoulder Lean. He got that California song, man. Damn.
Yeah, it'll get interesting.
Well,
if
they have been doing the features because this battle reminds me of like Rick Ross and 2 Chainz because everybody was like, "Oh, Rick Ross gonna slaughter 2 Chainz," and it's like
it was close.
I was like, you realize like 2 Chainz is like really great. Like he is a very strong.
I think sometimes people sleep on people's catalog or their body of work because they go through a transition where everything that you hear from them is not on the radio. Because I feel like if people was paying attention to Jeezy, because he got a catalog full of hits, but some of them weren't as mainstream as he was in 06, 07, 08. That don't mean it's still there because they had some people who was like, well, around like 2013, 2014, they said, well, T.I. was a little too commercial. You had the stuff with, she slipped my mind. What's her name?
Iggy Azalea?
Yeah, around that time where it's like some people was
I need to Google how much money she made him. Because I'm sure it was a lot.
A good bit. Yeah, a good bit.
Man, he made so much money
he's
off
worth
of her.
$10 million, so.
5 of that is
I read his net worth is like 50.
Google said 10, so we should look at that.
Yeah, T.I.'s worth now. I feel like he got long money.
50.
Well, we're talking about. Oh, you're talking about T.I. I was talking about Jeezy. Okay.
No. I'm talking about T.I. Yeah, I read somewhere he's worth like 50 million.
Man, it's my whole point was that it's gonna be a lot closer than people think. I've always favored Jeezy more. But I'm not biased enough to say that he's going to stomp him.
What was it about Jeezy that you favorite more? I mean, you can make a case that if you start talking about production-wise, they about even when there's something about the production. So is it the voice, or he just spoke to you a little bit more, or what was it, Khujoe?
I just like this flow and the energy that he brought on tracks. When he was first coming. First, with the energy in the city that he brought out was unmatched, and I feel like some of his contributions to rap in general. All right, I'll say this. So one thing I always tell people, without Jeezy, the way people talk about the dope game wouldn't be the same as it is right now. Nobody was talking the amount of detail. Like Jeezy gave you instructions. Like it was a step action. Like from the kitchen to distribution on how you could be a drug dealer. Like nobody was giving that much rapping. Yeah, like nobody was rapping that much detail prior to Jeezy. And then when he came out.
Maybe Rick Ross a little bit.
Rick Ross came out before Jeezy though. I mean, Jeezy
I think
commercially successful. Jeezy was first because Rick Ross didn't really pop until Port of Miami.
Port of Miami.
Yeah, and that was I don't know if you could drop a picture of Rick Ross back in, what was that, like 04 with that really tight Lakers jersey on with no
when he was on that Trina song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, the hat on.
Yeah. No shade. Look, it was Rick Ross, no shades, no beard, with a tight ass Lakers jersey on. Which is funny because when Rick Ross first came out, he made a diss track about damn near everybody. He made a diss track about T.I. I think him and Jeezy had their little thing for a second.
Didn't he have something with 50 Cent?
Yeah, that beef with 50 was probably the biggest one. But yeah, he had a diss track about Tip when he first came out.
I mean, I think at that point, diss records were just kind of how you stayed in the media, right?
I think that was the first clout chasing, as the kids like to call it now. I think rappers. Kids. I think rappers making diss tracks was because that was the way to kind of get in. Like you had to knock out the biggest guy.
That's how 50, the biggest bully 50 on the block. Got put on. Yeah, he dropped as many names as he could in the song. It's like, look, somebody, anybody, any takers? Come on, anybody? Yep.
That's like without Ja Rule as a target, I don't think 50 Cent. Now people from New York and people from Queens would argue different because he had his own movement up there, but I don't think he'd be as successful without his beef with Ja Rule. I think that took him there.
Excellent.
But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see. I don't think this battle gonna be as one-sided as people think it is. I think
it's gonna break the internet, man.
Yeah, people ignorant if they think it's one-sided. Yeah. Just like this is really just like Rick Ross and 2 Chainz. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I felt like he's gonna get slaughtered in a way. But...
on the other one.
Like, if Jeezy dropped Trap or Die, I mean, I'm just obviously that's probably one of his biggest songs, but like there's a couple songs that T.I. don't really have an answer for. And then vice versa. But I think
that's what I'm saying. Like he don't have an answer for that.
So which area are you talking about? Like, you know how Easy was just talking about him in middle school where he was all about listening to T.I. Yeah. So what do you feel like is the strongest era for T.I.? Because early 2000s T.I. is kind of hard to beat, but he had the mid 2000s where he was, like I said, he was really in a groove where this dude got real skills and you could bump a whole album.
I think some of the early work. Again, it's me probably being a little biased. I would probably put it more towards Jeezy if you just list out all their tracks. But I'm saying like T.I. had on his first album, I'm Serious. If it was 20 tracks on there, 16 of them were like hits.
Yeah.
But the same could be said for like Jeezy, not necessarily Trap or Die because there was a lot of jacking for beats on there, but Thug Motivation 101. It was 18 tracks on there, 16 of them was hit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. So they kind of even in some of their earlier work where T.I. starts to pull ahead to answer your question. I think is in that kind of commercial area where like around King when he started doing songs with the the pop artists and stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't think now Jeezy did do a song with Rihanna, but for me, which is one of my favorite Rihanna songs, if not my favorite, Go Hard.
The video ain't too shabby either, bro.
The video was not too shabby. That's actually, it's funny. That's actually when I started finding her attractive. Like before that, she wasn't ugly, but like the way everybody was fawning over her. Then I saw Go Hard. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see it. But
she wasn't as independently edgy. She was like super, super commercial, and
that Go Hard video was gritty, and I think that showed. Anyway, that didn't count, even though she was a commercial, pop artist. I felt like that like to Eazy's point, that was a smart feature for him to jump on with a pop artist because it wasn't a poppy song. That was one of her more gritty songs. Like if you list out a bunch of songs that you could play at a party full of gangsters, Go Hard is probably gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So anyway. Well, let me ask you this, because we talked about it, but we didn't formally do it. So I guess now would be a good time as ever to talk about it since we're talking about hip hop right now. T.I. just dropped a new album. Did y'all have a chance to listen? Did y'all listen to it?
No, not yet.
I love that shit. Like
same. I want to say I got to maybe like track 2 or 3. Usually I like listening to tracks in the car for a couple reasons. But the trip that I took wasn't that long, so I only got to like maybe 3 tracks. I can't say I like the single with him and Young Thug, but I'm not quite sure if it's because Thug is on there or if it was because
Hey, people give Young Thug shit, but like if he on your song, you got a fire ass song, and don't ask on that shit.
Look, don't ask
if
me.
Young Thug on your song, I'm listening.
At this point in his career, Thug is officially a legend. It don't matter what else he do.
Yeah, like he is a true hit maker, bro. Like Thug, even his most recent album, God, it escapes my mind. It came out like
even the one he did with Chris Brown, the 2-part.
Yeah, the Go Crazy. He got 2 songs with him.
I'm saying they did an album together.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where the Go Crazy. That's where Go Crazy came from.
And it's good too.
It is. It is a very good album. Sorry,
you can just turn it on.
Hold on, let me look up that album I'm trying to talk about.
So Easy, did you? I think did we talk about that the other day? Did you listen to the T.I. album? Did we talk about that last week?
Yeah. I listened to it.
We talked about that Sunday.
Yeah, I listened to it the first time. I was like, and then I was like, it's not that bad. Yeah, it really is. It's pretty good.
It got to grow on you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like that with all albums. Like, I gotta listen to it like 3 times to really get a full opinion on it. Yeah. Not to mention, this album's like fucking 18 tracks, so you really gotta devote some time to it. The album I was talking about was So Much Fun by Young Thug. That shit bumps.
Did I hear it? I gotta see.
I like the Libra album from T.I. from like my first listen. Like I turned it on, and like from the beginning, I was hooked in because. For me, a good time to listen to something like that is like when I'm working and I'm trying to zone out. And I noticed that I wasn't skipping no songs. I was just letting it go. And
yes, I did listen to my bad, Easy. I did listen to So Much Fun. That was a dope album. That was a dope album.
Hey, that's something made with Future. Speaking of, y'all can disagree or not, but Future a legend in his own right too.
All right, that we established that a long time ago.
I just want to make sure.
He is, but he's so annoying.
Future has fallen off so hard.
What does he do? I'm still confused after all these years. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Well, what exactly does he do? Is he a singer? Is he a rapper? What does it matter?
He makes music. Why you got to classify him as something? But he's obviously a rapper. He raps as much as anybody else does.
He's an artist. Yeah. He's a true artist. He can rap. He can talk about the trap. He can sing. Whatever you want him to do, he can do.
He's not a good. He's not a good singer. I
didn't say he was a good singer. I said he can sing.
Everybody can sing.
I will say this.
Yeah, right. Everybody can sing.
It's some Future songs where he's singing that I prefer over some legit R&B singers singing on their own songs.
Like Hendrix. Really? If you've listened to Hendrix, that shit's fire.
Yes.
Dirty Sprite.
Do you consider yourself a fan? Like, are y'all like fans?
Dirty Sprite 2, I still listen to this day.
That's like all of his stuff because when I feel like everybody's emulating what Future, the foundation that Future set.
Yep.
Like you can trace it back to Future, and then everybody's like, well, Lil Wayne was doing auto-tune and T-Pain, and I ain't talking about auto-tune. I'm talking about like sonically. If you go back and listen to all Future early projects, it still sounds like something that you could drop today.
Yep.
True, but like if I'm just wanting to hear something in the car, I'm gonna play Future. If I'm going to listen to a rapper because I need to connect soulfully with the lyrics, he's not gonna be the person. He has mastered.
See, but Future's been okay being that guy for you. Future's never been about, I'm gonna just wordplay your head to death. Like Future's okay with just being
simple.
Sounds cool and simple.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's very simple, and he repeats himself, and he's like the only person who's mastered making a whole song where he literally just says the same thing over and over again, repetition. That is technically an art.
But I feel like a lot of people do. I mean, I think that's kind of, I think that's downplaying a lot of what he does. But it's a bunch of songs on like his, what was that, Astronaut Kid, or Astronaut Status mixtape that I still listen to today, where that's back when he used to like sing like for real. But to Easy's point, Hendrix, there's a lot of songs on there where he's like legit opening up about his life.
First starts, like the first five
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, first 5 tracks, you just can't skip them.
Yeah,
like, I've never
that album is not a skip for me. I don't think I got any skips on that.
Yeah, I've never listened to any Future albums before.
And start with another one and then work your way to Dirty Sprite 2. Just end with Dirty Sprite 2.
That didn't mean I was gonna start. But
I'm just saying if that's the case.
But I know that he's super popular. I just was wondering, like I couldn't understand it. Like I know that like my oldest daughter went through a phase where she was just like really liking everything that he was doing, and I couldn't understand it. That was my first like old dude moment. Like I don't get it, Like I really don't understand what some of the other stuff I can understand, but with him I couldn't.
So what new artists do you like? Do you like Young Thug?
Yeah, I like Young Thug.
I don't see how you don't like Future.
Yeah, they literally the same person.
I mean, not credit to both is that they are similar in their kind of versatility but
all right.
I mean, yeah, they're
because contrary to my reputation on the show, Khujoe, I do listen to stuff past 1996.
Yeah, I think if your daughters didn't, you wouldn't.
No, it's not that. It's some stuff that I do like. We've established that some of that stuff from the 90s didn't exactly age that well. You try to turn some of that stuff on now, and it's not very good.
Yeah,
it
really had to. Yeah, it really had to be a good one from the night, because even listening back to a lot of that 90s production, just not even the lyrics and nothing about the artist who actually rapped on it, just the producer and the production did not age well.
Some of that stuff still bump today though. Like,
it does.
I know I'm biased because I like Snoop, but Doggy Style still goes
sure when
today.
You do the video, you put like a bias arrow on 16's He's very much biased.
Oh, did you hear Snoop? Did you see this Snoop new song, Night and Day? The Crippin' Night and Day? Nah,
you'd be shocked, but no, I hadn't.
I gotta send that to you.
Khujoe, for the last like 24 hours, I've just been buried in paper.
Yeah, I'm not trying not to sway anybody who hasn't heard it, but it is quite terrible.
Quite terrible.
It's quite bad.
Damn.
He's basically singing overnight, and to me it was funny, but if it was supposed to be a real
like
song,
sensual seduction singing, like auto-tune,
no,
like Snoop lying.
That song's not bad. So...
He's singing Over Night and Day by Albie Shore, and he's saying Crippin' Night and Day.
Yeah, that sounds terrible already.
Yeah. It's funny because in the video he like dancing and being silly or whatever, but like if you just listen to the song without seeing the video, it's pretty bad song.
And this just came out?
Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
I'm doing this on the air. I'm searching my Spotify.
Oh yeah, go ahead. It's just Snoop Night and Day or something like that. Let me see if I can find it.
See, I will play it in the background, but the YouTube police are coming and make me mute this shit out.
We need to housekeep on that and figure out how some people are getting around that, because I need a.
Well, let's
I think if it's enough foreground music, I think if it's enough foreground like noise or distortion to keep whatever YouTube algorithm or bot is scanning for music, then you probably can get away with it. Otherwise, I'm not sure, because I know somebody personally who does like a Music Monday and they play other people's music and post it to, unless he researches and finds out what he can play and can't. But
yeah, because I know somebody who plays songs. Well, I don't know somebody, but I follow somebody on YouTube, a couple of people, and they do their lives and like they play music. And I'm like, how are they getting away with it? They have like 153,000 subscribers. So I'm like, how are they getting away with doing that?
Yeah.
And they're not even telling you who the artists are in the comment, like in the description at all.
Some of them.
Do you mean to tell me this wasn't one of your A-list celebrity friends?
Well, I'm saying because one song we played, it was a sample from somebody, and instead of doing like a copyright strike, they would say, hey, in exchange for it, can we just monetize on your video and have ads? I was like, absolutely not. I'm gonna go ahead and just mute that out, and we'll just do something different. Like, so I guess it might be agreements with the artist or whatever, because the people, that songs that we get, I got like express like permission from the artist to be able to play that, copyrighted, and I haven't had any issues with that. So I don't know. Maybe we can figure some shit out. So if you start hearing mainstream music on the radio show, just know that somebody figured it out.
Right.
I like this hip hop conversation though, man. We hadn't had one of these in a long time.
We haven't.
And
but yeah,
this was. You're welcome.
If you wanna hear any, just off the top of my head, besides the Hendrix album, if you want to hear Future singing and it actually sound good, not sound good, but be a good song. This is one of his first ones called Rider. I used to like that a lot. And then we had one, Deeper Than the Ocean. I like that one too. Ain't that much singing. That was a little bit more harmonizing, I guess. But Ryder, he was straight up like yelling on that track, and that was.
I'm gonna say this other one. Come on here. I want to I'm gonna listen to some of this song off air.
But Hendrix,
talking. You could just.
But definitely
look at my
Hendrix.
facial expression.
Because he had that one song, "Use Me." That's a pretty deep song.
Very deep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this one. I'm about to listen to it in the other ear here. We're gonna see him.
You said he's
singing. Yeah. So
yeah.
I took one out, put my AirPod in. Let's see.
Yeah. Put your face to the camera. You said "World on." Oh, with
World, that was good.
With what's his name?
Juice World, yeah.
Yeah, Juice World.
We talked about Hendrix. High on Life, I was kind of disappointed by. Not gonna front.
Man, he went retro 80s with the video and everything.
Purple Rain, great. What a time to be alive, great.
Yeah.
Pluto 3D, great. Like,
yeah, it ain't too many future projects.
Put the thing like this: my freshman and sophomore year of college, he couldn't miss.
Oh yeah, you were in a time where you were creating memories to every song you heard. So, and that's another thing I be having, conversation with people too. Is like, what's good and what's bad, or what ages well, or what's considered a classic is like super subjective. Can be super subjective because it's really based on what you
opinionated.
Yeah, it's what you create memories to. You know what I mean? Like, what's his name? Don't make music like he used to. Well, when was that time that you were talking about? Oh, I was freshman in college. Like, yeah, that's why. You had free time when you wasn't in class. You was just fucking around as a college kid, creating memories to that music. Now you're an adult with 5 kids, and all you do is go to work and pay bills. Like, yeah,
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? You're not creating memories. You just driving to work.
Good. Speaking of memories, this song came on today, and I was like, damn. I bet you a lot of people have made love to this song more than like an R&B song. Nelly's My Place. You cannot tell me people wasn't making love to that song more than
I don't know that song.
Nelly's My Place? I never heard that song before.
The song My Place by Nelly with Jaheim?
No.
Was it
to write these songs down.
If Jaheim is on it, I can bet you that's an Al Green sample.
Y'all have never heard
Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy Pendergrass. Because that's what he sounds.
Never heard the song. I can't play it.
What is it called again?
My
Place by Nelly.
It's gotta be Teddy Pendergrass like remake sample kind of. Because there's no other reason to have. Oh wow, that's the first thing that came up. My Place by Jaheim.
Y'all have never heard this song before.
Yeah, I heard that. And that's Teddy P. I mean, the beat ain't the same, but obviously.
Oh, okay.
So he's got to be parody. Like that can't be. Like he had to be just playing around.
My place. Yeah, that's Teddy P.
I remember when Usher's Confessions came out when I was like a freshman in college, and that was just it was sold out everywhere. Like you had to hurry up and make sure you got it.
Freshman in college, Usher Confessions.
Yeah. I want to say I think I was a freshman because it was so dope. That's back when albums came out on Tuesdays and you had to get to the store.
Man,
graduated from high school.
Confessions came out in 04. So you was a freshman in 04?
No, it came out in 04?
Yeah, that's what I say. It had to be 03, 04. I know it was the
okay, never mind. I was like a junior. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I remember being in college, and I just remember the time. I'm like, dang. Well,
people were still listening to it, probably. But
yeah. Let me see Usher's Confessions. Like everybody kept going. Was that
a lot of babies?
There was a Confessions, and there was a Confessions Part 2.
Yeah, let me ask y'all a music-related question. Do you feel like sometimes an artist can make something that's so, I don't know, timeless or classic that they outdo themselves? Because like Usher with Confessions, that was like his holy grail of music.
Soulja Boy.
And it just seemed like he's a great singer and a great entertainer, but it felt like he never got back to that level again after that. It's like, that was his absolute peak of peak.
A lot of artists kind of fall to that though.
Soulja Boy, looking at you, Soulja Boy. That man made a masterpiece and never recovered.
Hey, that first album was pretty good though.
I don't know if the word Soulja Boy and masterpiece would be in the same. You might be looking at that in high school colored glasses because I don't know about.
Look, hey man, look. Stop grading stuff by '90s rap, okay?
Soulja
Boy's Crank That Soulja Boy is one of
Look,
the most
you can Superman that hoe all you want. All I'm saying is
time. Huh?
I said you can Superman that hoe all you want. I'm just saying.
I got you, but like everybody knows that song. Everybody knows the dance. Everybody knows where they were in 2006 when that song came out. Like that's a transcendent
in the club.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Right. So
and
my
in the
point
dance
is,
culture that followed.
He made a song so great that he literally could never recover from that. Every song after that, trash. You Kiss Me to the Phone, trash.
I would also argue that YouTube wouldn't be YouTube without Soulja Boy.
No. Ringtones wouldn't be ringtones without Soulja Boy. Like, I don't think he gets his credit for doing a lot of the first things in music, but he's, into other business stuff. So, and then I can't really recall all the songs, but Soulja Boy is behind the scenes on a lot of people's songs, and that's really how he started making more money that way. I had no idea until he was on the Breakfast Club, and I started realizing, dang, he helped produce or write that song and that song and that song. So I mean, he's pretty. Yeah. He just talk crazy, so it makes it hard to take him seriously. But he's a very, very genius level musician.
The chips were against him. I mean, the chips were stacked against him from the beginning anyway, because he came up in an era where, he came up during the time where kind of Southern hip hop was just starting to kind of take over, like fully take over, not just like be on the scene. And when that happened, a lot of all the critics basically, anybody that came out, it was bubblegum rap, it was ABC rap. Like if you go back and look at a lot of the King magazine and Double XL and all that other kind of stuff, where in any interviews, any shows that were being, conversations that were being had in barbershops, everybody was bubblegum rapping. One classic example I always use is Gucci. When Gucci came out with So Icy, everybody was super critical, and it was like, oh, that ain't real, right? That ain't real hip hop.
Really?
That's bubblegum rap. No, I'm saying like people from the city obviously weren't saying that, but I'm saying like,
okay, yeah,
on a larger scale. But then fast forward to now, anytime you hear Gucci Mane name brought up is, oh, he a legend. So,
Oh, I also wanted to say too about Soulja Boy. He started a whole new wave of hip hop.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. YouTube went, well, when I say like YouTube, the artistry and the business side that, people monetizing YouTube, all that kind of stuff and getting famous, that wouldn't have happened without him. He was first. Yeah.
Do you also think it was his age too? Because at that time, Soulja Boy was extremely talented, but extremely young too. So do you think that a lot of people just didn't quite respect him based on his age, based on who he was basically contending with at the time?
I really think it had a lot to do with what he came out with after. Because like 16 said, Usher with Confessions, did he ever come out with something to match that? Probably not. But the music was still good. It was still stuff that you could listen to.
You talking about the Crank That song or the album? The album was called SouljaBoy.com.
Well, I'm just saying
I never
industry.
listened to the album, but I know that.
So I would argue he actually had quite a few hits right after Crank That, because he had Crank That, he had Crank That, he had Shootout, he had
Kiss Me Through the Phone.
That was I think that was later, wasn't it?
No, that was like right after Crank That.
Oh, well,
because here's what happened. He did Crank That Soulja Boy, and literally everybody and their mama came out with another version of Crank That. So imagine the 6 months to a year that it got its radio time. Right. Well, it got extended by another year, 2 years, because everybody had Crank That Michael Jackson, Crank That Batman, Crank That Yank. Like you can go down.
Crank That Yank was kind of the Cash Camp was with him. So the dudes that was doing the dance in the Crank That video and that was always behind him in all the Soulja Boy dance videos was Cash Camp, and then that's who came out with Crank That Yank. So it was like, but yeah, everybody else, there was a Crank That
like
Batman,
everybody was
Crank That Flash, Crank That Hulk, Crank That. It was a bunch of them.
So like he really extended it.
That fit in that category? Like they just outdid themselves and never reached back to that level. Like
that's a good ass question. I'm trying to think of who else. I think 50 Cent is in that category. Get Rich or Die Trying after that.
Yeah.
He ain't do nothing else
good.
Yeah.
Magic Stick after, that was.
It wasn't great like that was.
He got that one album, and that was pretty much it.
And if you go back and listen
solo, because
Get Rich or Die Trying. Get Rich or Die Trying. You could almost make the case, even though there's a lot of hits on there, that I'm not gonna say it was overrated, but I feel like the hype from being like it being 50 Cent made it even bigger. You know, like I don't know how. Like, when was the last time you listened? Like Diva, were you a big fan of 50? When was the last time you listened to Get Rich or Die Trying?
I was a big fan of 50, actually.
My brother was too. My brother still is, I think.
Honestly, no, haven't listened to him in forever, really. And then too, like, I don't feel like, his stuff was good, but honestly, I can feel it being very, like, you got some songs like Jeezy and some other people, like, I could listen to them and it doesn't feel so dated, but with him, I can literally feel the mid 2000s when I listen to.
You say you can feel it?
I can feel it.
I got another one for y'all, and this might trigger some people, but Nas is 100% in that category. He made Illmatic.
So that's what this conversation.
I will say his latest album, the one he just came out with, is really good.
Yeah, really.
But here's the thing about the whole conversation is like, can you say that they kind of fell off, or is it just creating a masterpiece is just hard to replicate? Because you could argue that about Michael Jackson or Prince. Did Prince ever make another Purple Rain, or did Michael Jackson create another Thriller album or Thriller song?
No, you're right, Khujoe. And then
but you could put it like Off the Wall, Thriller. There's a lot of them that are in that category.
Easy was saying about Nas went through a point where it was like, okay, he came out the first two albums where people were like really feeling him, and then he went through sort of this mid-career from like 97 till around 2000, 2001, where he was trying to find whatever could keep him hooked in. He even did a song with Genuine that was like completely out of anything he probably would have ever done. Look, as Diva laughs about it because she's probably thinking about that song right now, like, why did Nas even make that song? And then
I was definitely a Genuine fan.
The beef with Jay-Z, and then he comes with Stillmatic, and it's like, well, damn, Nas, when motivated, he's pretty damn good. So he had another like a resurgence in the early 2000s into the mid 2000s where he was like, hey, I'm still out here. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't say fell off. I just feel like he had moments, he had peaks and valleys.
So when do we stop the counter for certain artists? For any, and I'm not certain. When do we stop the counter?
Talking about Nas in the early 2000s, like that wasn't touching what he did with Illmatic.
So I guess my question comes from, like, Michael Jackson just died in 2009. Do we stop counting for Michael Jackson when he dropped His Story, the compilation album or whatever, and then everything after that is just, he was just old? Or can you count all that music as Michael Jackson fell off up until he died?
Though
that's a good question, man.
I don't think
name a Michael Jackson song after 2004.
What was that you just said, Sean?
Fubu and Tommy, bucket head shorty, gold hoops, lip gloss, true on the radio, blue rags, blow pop, lick it to the bubble gum, nostalgic, yeah. You feel like all them years, treat you like Shawty, your love is king, babe. Out to the street lights, kissing you goodnight, doodle your name all on a Lisa Frank, nostalgic, yeah. You feel like all them years. Your love takes my You feel like all them years. Graphic you, Jodeci, you're my favorite fantasy. Like to make it chasey, baby, hide and go seek. Like that first real love, begging you to hang up. Nostalgic, yeah, you feel like all them years. Your love takes my mind way back to 90s love that Gina had. Your love takes my mind way back to that sweet love I need to have. You make new times feel like past times, feel like good times. You make my life feel like easy, feel like tie-dye. You make new times feel like past times, feel like good times. You make my life feel like easy, feel like tie-dye. Feel like good times, feel like tie-dye. You make new times feel like tie-dye. Feel like good times, feel like tie-dye.
After 2004, I ain't
We had
even
the
know.
butterfly. You said after,
When did
so not the
Butterfly-
after the butterfly
2004,
album?
after Butterfly.
Oh yeah, well then, yeah.
Because he was still making music.
Well, I didn't hear any of it. Maybe I missed.
Can you Khujoe, when can
I'm
you
about
drop
to look,
in this
'cause I'm
when
truly-
when you say Michael Jackson? Can you drop in like, I don't know, some type of music where we're all trying to figure it out? Like, let's see.
Look, not Jeopardy before we get sued.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Keep it
think,
legally
I think
different.
that I think the issue with some of these artists is that some of them have captured their audience at a certain period of time. And then
What
they
songs did he
kind
make
of
after Invincible? Because Butterflies was on Invincible.
I don't know the name.
There's
of
an
any of
album
them,
here
to be
that
honest.
says Michael that was made in 2010, but I'm guessing that was something that came out after he passed.
Yeah, I don't know
And
if that
those
was
could have
ready to
been
go.
those could have been unreleased tracks. So I guess we have to
Yeah, this
determine-
looks like unreleased tracks.
And then we have to
The
determine when they
Escape
came out.
obviously came
or
out
when
in
we recorded.
2014.
I think some artists take too much time apart and they lose the ability to connect to a new audience. So all they have is like their vintage audience, basically, like their diehard loyal people, because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like they necessarily fell off. I feel like they fell out of groove with their audience to an extent to where it's kind of like either they're saying the same thing that they already said when they originally captured our attention. And so we're just like, oh, okay, well, you know, that's not necessarily new to us. And it's definitely a disconnect if you don't come out with an album. Like Nas didn't really stay consistent after a certain body of work. He takes time. There's very few artists who are like Maxwell, who can not bring anything out forever. And as soon as he does anything, or Sade, like, even if they don't create new work, they just still have this diehard base that can still bring them money. But in today's society, very few artists have that ability, because if you notice, used to be you could put out an album, you could take 2 or 3 years off, come out with an album, and your fans are like going crazy. Now, if you're not consistently being seen in some kind of fashion, it's just kind of like you fall off. Look at a perfect example is she just had a baby.
Nicki Minaj.
Rapper. Thank you very much. You see how hard that was for me? Because she fell off. She didn't make any music. She really wasn't doing anything constructive, but being, you know, complaining about everybody else in the music industry. So when Cardi B came out, because she wasn't really putting out any work, it's like everybody kind of forgot about her. And then when she did decide to put out some work, people were kind of already moved past her in a way. So
do you think it's like the fans' fault too? Like, because I can think of some artists where like I get so attached to one album because it was so good and you listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
And then they come out with another album and you're just like hoping it's just as good as that one album you still listen to every day. Like, I think it could be a fan thing too, because we just get so attached to like that one piece of work.
I think some bodies of work just connect to you differently. Like I ain't gonna lie. I'm not the biggest Nicki Minaj fan, but I think based on where an artist is in that time of life, like, and then where you are, you connect to them soulfully and mentally, and it connects you to that album. Like Pink Print, I think, based on where I was in my life, I super connected to like everything she was talking about on that album. So for me, that's one of my favorite albums. But some of the other stuff she put out, I'm like, yeah, okay, you know. That's, or if you feel like an artist, like some albums you feel like the artist just did, and then some of the artists' work you feel like, oh, they were just in that. Like you feel like you know them based on how passionate you feel they are in that body of work. And I think that's what connects us. And then some artists do an album and you be like, they just did this for the record label, because you don't really feel them in the work, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I don't think it's just black and white. I think it's
so great. Oh, no, go ahead, Khujoe.
No, I don't think it's that black and white. I think a lot of it is like, to your point, easy expectations. Like if you do create this, you know, first come out with a Get Rich or Die Trying, or like, you know, a classic album right out the gate, everybody expecting every album you drop from then on to be 100% a classic or 100% a masterpiece, instead of looking at each body of work kind of individually. And then to Diva's point, because there is a business side to it, sometimes they have contractual obligations where they might not feel like creating, but they have to. So then they throw this in. So I mean, it's a lot that kind of, it's a lot of different variables that kind of go into breaking down whether or not somebody fell off. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this, Khujoe, because you mentioned something with that, and some Diva had brought up too just now about like timing. So do you feel like sometimes when the timing is a little bit off, it can cost somebody? Like one of the main artists that popped in my head when she mentioned that was, well, to us, we from down south, so we know about it, but UGK was always big to us. But they had that one summer where they was on everything. I mean, they had never been hotter. They did this, you know, they had the song with 3 6 Mafia. They did the song with Jay-Z. It was right there for them. And then the label didn't bring out their album until like a year later, and all the hype around them was gone. And then the album that they brought out, it wasn't up to the standard that we were used to. So do you feel like that can have people miss the boat sometime, where they should have probably had something out like right while the iron was hot, and they waited too long, and then it was kind of over?
Lil Wayne might be another example of that. Carter 5. We've been waiting on Carter 5 since what, 2007?
Was it 7 or 8, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Wayne definitely ain't what he used to be. So
I think he got back there. I mean, I think it was definitely a period where some of the stuff he was dropping. But I think it's been probably about 3 years, maybe past three years or more, where I felt like Wayne kind of got back on his shit, because lyrically, right now, I mean, you know, I don't know why he can't release a hot song, because he's still rapping, but ain't nothing really
but he don't even have like good subject matter anymore. It just sounds like a bunch of mumbling and repeating the same words. Like I used to look at videos where Wayne wouldn't even write down his lyrics. He would just start spitting in the microphone, and then it would be a hot ass song. Like I don't know.
Did you like Glory? That song Glory that he released? That was probably peak Wayne lyricism for me, and that was after that. I Ain't Got No Worries, that whole phase where he was over auto-tune and everything and just screaming.
Yeah, that shit still went hard. Like when him and Drake was collabing on everything, man, that was, you know, it wasn't as great as Carter 2 or Carter 3, but it was still
I Ain't Got No Worries was that wasn't a Drake collab. That was
I'm just saying, like that was time where him and Drake was like, they had Miss Me, they had, you know.
Oh no, this was way after that.
Lil Wayne had a 5-year run though that, I mean, that's hard to beat. Like even if he don't do nothing else, he had a 5-year run where it was like,
I say greater. I say more than 5. I say ever since when Go DJ dropped, Wayne didn't stop being hot. From Go DJ
all the way to the Carter 3.
Yeah.
I think Carter 3 was his peak. That was like everybody's like Carter 3 was like him.
You can't skip a track. Carter 3. Don't at me. Like
Carter 4 was good too, because it had
Carter 4 was good. It had John,
exclusively on the Aftermath.
Some other folks on there.
You said what, Ralph?
I said, he said don't at me. I was like, don't at me. Exclusive to the Aftermath.
But like Nicki Minaj had like a similar run where she was just she was great, and she was the only female in hip hop like really worth a damn.
Yeah.
And once she said like, I think it probably was Pink Print, she was just like, yeah, I ain't really got nothing else to do. I'm kind of getting bored with this. I don't have any competition.
That Anaconda song was her downfall for me. That was the start of it.
And I think people got tired of her act too, like the whole, you know, the little wigs.
Yeah, she did kind of. I think that was a weird time in music in general, because I think she had kind of gotten away from, you know, the urban side, and she was kind of trying to mix in with the Gagas and the Katy Perrys, who was
she had the whole Roman character that was really wearing psychotic.
Wearing meat suits and unicorns to red carpet events and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole era of music, because you know pop stars don't even do that no more.
Derulo, Flow Rider era, where like they were just making a bunch of songs and people liked it, specifically one group of people. And like it was on the top of Billboard, and you're just like
that fist pump era, where every song was a fist pump song.
I like that better. The fist, like you had
he said a fist pump era.
LMAO, Lady Gaga, Derulo,
Party Rock Anthem. Like everybody.
What was her name?
Black Eyed Peas.
Yo,
Swagger Like Us
got a new song. MIA got a new song with Travis Scott and Young Thug.
I heard it.
It's great.
It's pretty good.
MIA, she made, you know, Paper Planes, and every time she just randomly hops on a feature, she's very strategic. I don't know if she's set for life with retirement or what. Yeah. But when she come in on a feature, I'm like, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
she got pregnant, then she went to jail or something like that, right?
Yeah, she got
crazy life.
She got pregnant right after, bruh. We ain't even
right after Paper Plane.
What is Jeezy gonna play to combat Swagger Like Us? He's not gonna have one.
Oh yeah, because
why did he not talk about that song?
The only thing I can think of is I Do.
He gonna have to save that for another one. He think he can win. There's no way Jeezy comes with a song that's better than Swagger Like Us.
I didn't like Swagger Like Us. I like Tip verse okay. If I had to choose like a much, out of all of them, but I ain't like that song much.
Yeah, you tripping, bro.
I ain't like the beat. I ain't like the sample. It was cool.
Nah, that song was
that
great.
Weird instrument that they had in it.
If you would have said like I don't like Forever, you know that song with like Eminem and Lil Wayne.
No, now that I love that song.
There's a good song. I think Swagger Like Us is better though.
Man, can I just say that on that song that you just mentioned out Forever, that was one of them times where Eminem was like, well, let me just Yep. Let me just show off real quick.
But that's
so this beat real quick.
And that bitch is funny we mentioned both them songs, because those are songs that people kind of still argue to this day about like who had the better verse. For me, and anytime I talk about, Eminem had the worst verse on that song.
Really?
If you go back and listen to the subject matter, the content of the actual verse, and not just the rhyme pattern and the flow, that's pretty much all he had. The first bar was, there they go, packing stadium, and Shady spits his flow, nuts they go, macadamia, and they go so ballistic, whoa. That was the first bar, and it was like, it sounded good because he was rapping fast, you know what I'm saying? But like when you break that, it didn't hit for me.
His career is the definition of peaks and valleys.
Oh man.
Like he's got some great stuff. He's got some terrible stuff that even he says is terrible.
Yeah. After Eminem show, it was a wrap for me.
Yeah, like he's got some good ones and some bad ones. But yeah, Swagger Like.
But
we could do a whole episode on that.
Ever, first name greatest, like a sprained ankle. Boy, ain't in the place.
Yeah. I was about to say, look, if we being honest, Drake had the best verse on that song.
Oh man. Lil Wayne, it's Drake, Wayne, because Drake and Wayne,
talked about
Kanye,
this before.
Yeah.
Drake is one of the best artists of all time. Okay.
Yes.
Album sales wise, it's hard to argue. He's basically the Beatles if you look at what he sold.
He's one of the greatest artists of all time. The man can rap about this Expo marker. Shout out to Expo.
Yes.
And make it a fire track that everybody and their mama want to listen to.
Yeah.
The man can do no wrong. Name a bad album. I dare you.
He really doesn't, because I can relate personally, like just his lyrics of life, of how it don't matter. I can relate to pretty much anything he raps about, which I love.
He came out with Take Care, and every album has been great since that album.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, how's he gonna top Take Care? nothing was the same. Like he just.
Yeah, I think he's an easy target to make fun of, but I think Drake is one of them. I always say people listen to Drake in secret, just because he's so out in, like, people make fun of him out in public. So for certain people, saying you're a Drake fan is just opening yourself up, to be.
And I'm big on looking at your umbrella too. Like, yeah, you great, but like, who have you brought in? Like, he brought in The Weeknd, who's great in his own right. Like, if you take time, just go look at Drake's umbrella, like the coaching umbrella. Like, go look at his umbrella of artists.
Weeknd, PND.
Man, Party Next Door.
I mean, I'm not the world's hugest Drake fan, but he got several songs that I just really like. I really just like them. They're just good, Even when he's doing songs with some, like that song he got with Chris Brown, No Guidance. That's some of the best shit you'll ever hear. Like, it's just fucking good. There's no getting around
awesome
it.
Fucking
it's
song,
just
bro.
It's just good.
His whole catalog. I mean, his whole from Thank Me from So Far Gone. He dropped a mixtape and got nominated. Didn't he get nominated for a Grammy for a mixtape?
It was nominated for a Grammy.
But it's just certain songs he did. It's just good. Like, even somebody like me who everything he dropped, I don't just go listen to the whole album, but there's no denying what he is. Even me, the most cynical of fans, be like, well, I don't know about that. No, he has dropped some stuff that's just fucking good. Yeah. There's no getting around it. There's no arguing the point. It's just good. And anybody who says that, they just hating him because he light skinned.
His worst album is somebody's best project.
I can agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
people would wish to have Drake's worst album.
Right.
Anybody that he features with, and he's strategic about who he features with, it's gonna be an amazing song.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
Even when he was on his climb up, he still was hopping on songs with people where it's like other people could see. Yeah,
like dudes like Lil Durk. Like, I ain't heard about Lil Durk before Drake hopped on a song with him. Like he really.
Yeah, Durk had him.
It was. I'm gonna tell you something.
He was like,
it was Khujoe that made me take a second look at Drake. Cause I ain't want when we were back in the before days when we was doing Go Radio, and and he's like, dude, you need to give him a shot, and I'm like, I'm in my old man, and I'm like, no, and then I was like, okay.
The Civil War, bro. He used to talk about, how dare you say that Drake's one of the greatest artists ever? He's not even on the level of Elvis, Michael Jackson. I'm like, bro.
Most number ones ever. How long did it really take
his music? Yeah. I'm big on numbers. Go look at the numbers. The man has broken all kinds of
he's essentially the Beatles. Like, if you're doing your research, his catalog is, I know people hold the Beatles in big time reference. If you go through his catalog, that's what I'm saying. He's essentially the Beatles.
He beat the Beatles what he is. Said most number ones ever. How long?
And these are people, and the crazy part about him too is that this is not just people streaming. This was people spending, like, purchasing. Yes, purchasing it.
Look,
and that's undeniable.
2009, I was in high school. People were very much still buying albums, and Drake was one of those people that, like, you bought 4 or 5 copies of his album because you wanted a copy in your mom's car, you wanted a copy in your dad's car, you wanted a copy in the living room where you had your CD player, you wanted a copy for your room, for your personal CD player. Like, Chris Brown, Drake, like, they were that artist. Like, I'm not only going to the store to buy your album, I'm buying multiple copies.
Drake, all those artists survived the LimeWire era, so they were doing pretty well.
They did.
They did. I say pretty well.
And you want to talk about the equivalent of HIV, LimeWire?
Man, let me say that Chris Brown, I know he had a little moment in his career where it was like, it was real good, and then he had a moment where it's like, is he gonna stay on? Man, after the incident with Rihanna, you could make a case that it's some of the best shit that's ever been put out when it comes from an R&B singer.
Agreed.
You could make that argument.
I say that all the, bro. It's funny you mentioned that.
It is. Yeah. Like, name somebody, not Michael Jackson or Prince or somebody like that, that's really, like, on his level.
It's just like, there's no explanation you can give. You're like, well, what is it about Chris Brown? It's just good. There's nothing. It's just good.
He's just unique. Like, he's a person who's in his own lane.
Keyword talent. The man's got talent.
But he can do it all. He can dance. He can sing. He puts on, and I think he was one of the few people who actually went back to making, like, really, really good videos where you look forward to it. Because a lot of times you have these videos that make no damn sense. Like you're looking, we remember the video used to be, we used to wait for the video to drop because it helped complete the vision of the song. And you're like, oh my God, did you see that video? Now you watch a music video, it don't have shit to do with the song.
Yeah.
Nope.
It kills the fantasy. You're just like, okay, I'm lost. I don't even understand what I just
And I will
watched.
say sometimes to the opposite of that, today, sometimes a visual will sell you on a song.
True.
So like
top of that,
like Drake new song, Laugh Now, Cry Later. It's a dope song, like regardless, but the visual, the Nike factory with the athletes and Drewski and all the whole cameos, like, it really just the visual put it to a, you know what I'm saying? It escalated the song.
So we've been given a lot of praise. But here's one artist that really wasted his opportunity. I think he was still great for the time that he was like in his prime. But T-Pain, I feel like really missed an opportunity to be all-time great.
I think
he had a hell of a run, man.
I think T-Pain still will be considered a legend.
I think
he started a movement.
Yeah.
He did, but why? What happened to where, like, some artists grow, like, you know what I'm saying, and shift and pivot a little bit to stay relevant.
We grew up. He was singing about a lot of stuff that you probably not interested in anymore.
Yeah, but his songs didn't sound as good anymore. Like, I don't know if it's when he stopped messing with Akon or what, but like him and Akon,
another amazing
Akon
artist.
couldn't miss. Like,
no, Akon is a freaking genius, honestly. I mean, both in and out of the music industry, he's just a great businessman. And anytime Akon jumped on the track, it was very strategic too.
That's true. He didn't just hop on any song.
Oh, Akon and Young Jeezy. Yep.
I'm loving this hip hop chat. Khujoe, you plugging tonight, man?
I guess not. Hold on, real quick.
Well, you see what happened when Diva asks a question, it just takes over everything.
Okay, so Khujoe, can you we're making these requests on the air. Can you give like some type of fireworks or something for Diva so she can feel special when this comes out? Like,
Yes, thank you. Because if it's not my random questions or my random randoms or my relationship questions, I mean.
No, I give it.
The show wouldn't be anywhere without Diva.
It wouldn't be, but should Diva been around?
I wasn't saying that. I was just saying.
I mean, I was translating for you. I got you.
Because she been adding stuff for a long time. Not just this version, but going all the way back to the before days on the GOAT.
Oh, before that, I used to just be a little reckless with.
Like she'd call into the show. And we were like, you know what, Diva, you doing something? Nah, you want to stay on? Yep. And then that's how it would work. She would just call in and just hang out the rest of the time.
Oh, yeah, like just a random person. I would just call in and give an opinion.
Yep. And be like,
you were a trendsetter, bro, because y'all used the term GOAT before, like, it was.
Khujoe has said that. We did.
It's true.
Y'all used
GOAT radio?
Y'all used the abbreviation GOAT before it was really cool.
Yep. We started it.
We did. I'm so proud of
a small little concept turned into 100+ episodes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, just think now, like the consistency we've had with literally showing up every week is just very impressive.
We're getting close to 100 episodes with this version of the show too.
Yeah.
I know. So exciting.
Nah, y'all. I mean, I can say this and have it recorded. Y'all the only folks that I want to do stuff like this with. Y'all the only people I want to do radio with. Nobody else. Like if somebody come at me with that, I'm like, nah. If it don't include this group right here, I can't do it.
Yeah, man.
It's okay, man. I'm gonna sign that check for $200K. I won't hold you to that.
Easy said, I'll sell y'all up the river, right? He's like, I'll sell y'all. It's like, who got?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying if you sign that deal, then I understand. We understand in advance.
Oh no, it wouldn't be none of that going on without none of y'all. I'm like, nothing is happening without this group. Period. That's how that works.
So if some syndicated radio show came to you right now, it was like, hey man, we like what you're doing. We want to get you, not the other people, but just you, and we'll give you 200 annually.
That's not enough money. Taxes.
Okay. So here's the realistic answer. I will try to hang out on my principles, but I got a feeling that Mrs. 16 will be like, they'll get over it.
First of all, if you don't take it, I'm gonna ask you for that number, and I'm gonna take it.
No, I will find.
Hey, 16, you a real one for staying down with us, man. Like, don't let them people try to buy you. Like, but do you remember the name of the person that called you?
No, it'd be like, make sure you catch my new show debuting in 2 weeks. But yeah, I just had to put that across there. That this group of what we do, you know what I'm saying? Like the conversations that we have, you just can't replicate that type of. You can't replicate that type of chemistry. It just don't exist everywhere. And yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. I want to talk more. I missed that. You know, we're supposed to be a hip hop show. I want to talk more music. Like I want. Yeah, like shit. We need to incorporate this even more. Like I've been thinking of topics. Like we talked about the people that that fell off, and we should mention some of the people who we thought they were going to be around for a long time, and they were here to stay. And not only did they just fall off, they never put out anything else. It's like they was here and then they was just gone.
But that's what I was gonna say. My bad. I not to go backtrack, but T-Pain's Epiphany album, one of the best R&B albums.
Facts.
That album was super fucking great.
Bartender.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Oh, I actually watched his verses, and I literally forgot how many bangers he had.
Yeah. I will say, I'm glad he went up against
for all of them.
I'm glad he went up against Lil Jon, because that was one where, first of all, they were friends, so they were homeboys. It was just like two friends fucking around or whatever. But
they really could go toe for toe though, honestly. But they were in the same little block,
It was far enough. I mean, obviously Lil Jon won, but it was. First of all, it was close enough, in era and sonically, because they're both from the South or whatever, where the verses made sense. But they put him with a Lil Jon because they never crossed necessarily into each other's lane. I'm trying to find the right word about it. So if they would have put T-Pain against Future, you would have felt like Future was like the copy of T-Pain. You know what I'm saying?
Lil Jon started it off, and T-Pain kind of like right where Lil Jon and the East Side Boys just kind of weren't making music anymore. T-Pain would just kind of happen to walk into the door,
but they still had their own unique like paths. Like they were dope at the same time, but they didn't sound alike. So they had their own lanes, but their style was still complementary of each other. So it made sense to put them together in a battle.
Yeah.
Some of these people lanes are so different. Like nobody. Let's say, for instance, nobody's in a lane with Rihanna. Like, who could she possibly go against in a versus? Nobody.
Beyonce.
I was about to say Beyonce.
It would have to be.
That would be the only choice, but at the same time, like, they're just so different. Like, because
they are.
Honestly, that is the only person who could go against her, though. But nobody else is in either one of their lanes.
But it's like Michael Jackson and Prince. Like, them would be the only two that could be a battle at that level. And it's like sonically, they are very different.
So how did you feel about, I don't know if you guys saw Swiss Beats basically shade the potential verses with Janet Jackson and Missy Elliott. Like, they both wanted to battle each other. They're both friends, but he was
who?
Nah, I don't know.
Who was it?
Catalog.
No offense,
wait, who wanted to go against each other? Missy Elliott and Janet Jackson?
People were proposing Janet Jackson and Missy Elliott.
That's a horrible matchup. That's a blowout.
Were those people on drugs? Like, were they?
I don't know.
Is it crack?
It was enough people for Swiss to put it out there, but who was he talking to? He was talking to what's the other Beats guy name? God.
Timbaland?
Huh?
Timbaland?
Thank you, Timbaland. Yes.
Well, Timbaland said that because that's his home. That's his home girl. But that's a blowout. That's what they call in sports. That's a boat race.
But the crazy thing is Swiss Beats felt like Janet Jackson's catalog wouldn't hold up to Missy Elliott's, and I was like, I understand because they're very different, but I was just like, damn.
If you're talking about like all the songs that Missy wrote, then yeah, it would be. But I don't know that Janet Jackson did a lot of writing for other people, so that wouldn't necessarily be.
But
fair to play songs you wrote versus play.
Janet Jackson's hits alone is
okay. So I put it to you like this, Diva. If you take those two artists and one of them did a retirement tour, one of them would sell out and the other would be like, dang, that's messed up that Missy ain't doing songs no more. Oh, well, yeah.
Now, I honestly think Janet's catalog, as far as people really knowing what she's singing, where they're like super fans, yeah. But I think Missy's definitely good, but
I didn't feel like Missy was that big until I saw, like, not necessarily her fan base, but just across the culture, how many people are actually, or claim to be fans of Missy. And I'm like, okay, I don't know.
She has a very serious following, very serious.
Right, and exactly. And I was surprised. So everybody was, so this was maybe 6 years ago, whatever. Everybody was like, oh man, Missy need to come back because female rap ain't the same, blah, 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 blah. She dropped 2 songs, one of which was played in a commercial that was on TV. Neither one of them did anything. So where's all these fans, you know what I'm saying, like buying and consuming and supporting her music? And so anyway, whatever.
Okay, I got one for you, Khujoe. Name 5
Hey, hold on.
Name 5 Missy Elliott songs right this second. You
Pass That Dutch, Get Your Freak On, I Can't Stand the Rain. Fuck, I was on a roll. The other one, yeah. That's the way I started thinking myself in a hole.
Well, we can't hear you easy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you could name 5 Janet Jackson songs right off the top of your head, though.
I'll probably get stuck at 3 again because I'm thinking myself into a hole now. But Control, the In the Thunder and Rain, that one, Poetic Justice. That.
Hey, did you mention Gossip Folks under your Missy Elliott 5 songs list?
No, he got stuck because he couldn't.
So, the one that Janet Jackson did with Busta Rhymes, I love that song, and I can't. I'm just bad at song names.
Gossip Folks to me is Missy Elliott's best song. Well, my favorite. I love Gossip Folks. I feel like Luda came in and really killed that verse for her.
Oh yeah. Oh, would Minute Man count? Was that her song?
Yeah, that was her.
The Sierra song with Missy Elliott. You mentioned that one.
Yeah,
Lose Control.
Lose Control. Thank you. That was the one I was trying to think of. I was like, Sierra's on it, and I couldn't think.
Yeah.
All I kept thinking of.
But they got a few together. I
kept thinking of 1-2 Step, but I'm like, that's not hers. It's one that Sierra did. Yeah. Anyway, so Lose Control. Thank you. That was the one I was trying to think
housekeeping, if I may, real quick.
Yeah.
Can I volunteer somebody to share the one gotta go? Because I'm having some technical difficulties over here.
Oh, easy.
He on a goddamn iPad, so he can't.
I can do it.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, I had to get on the mic real quick, y'all. They was trying to kill me in Among Us. So I had to let them know it wasn't me.
Man, don't they know you a podcast star, man? You ain't got time to be up there playing PlayStation.
It's not PlayStation. It's a game on your phone that you can download. You can
play whatever the kids are playing nowadays.
Newfangled.
There's the guy with a gaming system. How you even gonna say a quote like that and you actually have a gaming system?
Wait, you texted to me?
Yeah. I didn't know. Oh, yeah. How about that? Well, just email it to yourself now.
I don't know.
He said just email it to yourself.
Just email it to yourself. Because I didn't know which one to send it to, and I didn't want to say it. This going on YouTube. Like, is your email address Big Black Mike at hotmail.com? Do you remember that, Khujoe? Do you remember?
Because that is my email.
It is?
No, it's an inside thing that happened where I'll talk about it while he's looking for it, but we were working at this in this call center.
This was at
Orange
Depot
Place.
And
oh damn, I didn't mean to say Depot on me.
It's okay.
And no, I know. I remember you telling me this story.
Yeah, and we were allowed to repeat back whatever they were saying. I was like, the guy was like, "Oh, so your email address that we're removing is bigblackmike@hotmail.com." That's bigblackmike@hotmail.com. Everybody in my section is busting out laughing, and I can't get in trouble for it because I'm repeating what he said.
Yeah, hey, it was crazy the amount of people that. I'm pretty sure it's different now, but like back then, it was crazy how many people didn't have professional email addresses. Like I remember it was one chick called in. Hers was sexy by vixen something, like some series of numbers.
What?
And I'm like, that's the one you gave your employer?
What is the obsession with people putting like blah 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 69 in their email addresses for work?
They're not thinking. I had one that was honey dripping wet at gmail.com. I'm like, and you wonder why they didn't call you for this admin position? I mean, just saying.
And then you're supposed to, I mean, like, do y'all, well, I don't know. Were we all together when I created the wall of shame? Like,
yeah, we were when that wall of shame was,
it was so funny because you just get these crazy emails and this crazy HR stuff, and you couldn't really put the person's name on there, but you could always put
we knew who it was.
Situation and be
was
like,
that you know, you guys shared or
no, this was a real thing that was on a wall that she created. Like, don't end up like these people.
It sounds like
it was just funny because like it's just this is the life. Like one time we had sent when I went to the leave of absence team, you know, people calling for leave of absence, you send a packet. Well, a wife had returned to send her this packet, and she basically was like wrote on the front of the envelope that basically her husband was having an affair with a store manager and he didn't live there anymore. Like, she wrote all of this out and returned it to his job. So of course a copy of that went on the wall of shame because that's pretty hilarious.
Wow.
So I mean, it would be stuff like that, or the time that we asked a doctor to let us know when an associate was going to come back to work, and the doctor literally drew a magic 8-ball and said, I do not have one of these, and drew a magic 8-ball. Like, basically, I don't know. Who does that? But it went on the wall of shame for shits and giggles, so it's pretty funny.
Hilarious. I never thought for 100 years that the wall of shame would make it to the air, because we used to have to walk around them landmines back then. We ain't really got to do that no more now, but I never thought it'd make air. All right, so what do we do? Are we good to share now, or?
Yes, sir. Oh,
all right.
I do want to tease that on the next episode of the radio show, we'll be talking about artists that we think shouldn't be as big as they are.
I like it. Yay! I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I just decided that. I just overrode everything.
Somebody better email that to me, because we'd be like, so what are we talking about? Like, man, I don't remember.
Right.
I need to prepare for this. Like, I'm not as quick with songs in my mind like you guys, but I definitely have a list.
All right. Ooh. Easy, what the fuck are we arguing about this week?
All right. So we're sticking with the restaurants. This week we got sub shops. We got 5 choices. We got Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, Subway, Panera Bread, and Firehouse Subs. And I just want to say, off the rip, Firehouse Subs is staying.
Thank you.
It's staying.
Man, if you said anything other than that,
it's the best one by far of any of these.
Not even great selection. Close.
It is the best, and I don't want to argue about it. So if you're gonna say anything about any slander about Firehouse Subs, it will be met with a session. You may begin. Diva, who's out?
Oh, damn. I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to have to say, what is it? Jimmy John's. And that's only because
they don't have a hot.
Their subs are so small, and they charge you for literally every topping, like 25 cents or something. I just think it's ludicrous. So that's why they got to go.
16.
All right. So for me, well, I'm going to say off top, my one that would have been staying, like how Easy said. So for me, Jimmy John's is staying. I like their bread, and I'm just, I like them. The Bootlegger Club, if you have not had one.
Clean under the bus, 16 comes in and saves it.
Yeah, the Bootlegger Club is the one you should get on if you haven't. But the one that has to go for me, and it's because I've never eaten there before, and it's based on that, is I've never had Firehouse before, so it has to go because I've never had it. I've had all these other ones. I like the other ones, and I've heard good things about Firehouse, but I've never had it, so for me, it's got to go.
You mean to tell me the guy who's been to every restaurant on planet Earth has not been to Firehouse Subs?
No, I've not been to, and there's one not that far from where I live either.
Hey, well,
there's literally three around that was around Home Depot, around the job.
Just based on what me and Khujoe love about it, I'm not going to accept this as your one gotta go. So based on the other 4 that you've actually been to, because you haven't had the greatness of Firehouse Subs. Which one of the 4 gotta go?
Okay, so out of those 4, then Jersey Mike's will be the one to go. Even though they're pretty good, but Panera Bread has too many good choices. Subway is like, the veteran, the staple. And like I said, Jimmy John's is perfect for somebody like me who don't want a whole bunch of shit on their sandwich, who want to just, go that route. So yeah, he said he's not accepting. He's like, Firehouse is good.
No. Yeah. I get why you said it, but if you've never had it and you've been to like every fucking fast food restaurant known to man, I need you to go to that one, and then you'll change your. Please.
Okay, so that's fair enough. Where you like, hey, the only reason why I'm saying it, not saying it was good or bad, it's just I never had it, and if y'all can make a suggestion on what I should try, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Dude,
and,
they got that chicken ranch or something like that, bro. It's good.
You could just get the plain smoked turkey, like.
They got a good like a beef and cheese one. They got is really good. Like
okay. I'm gonna look into it based on the suggestion. I know Khujoe, you up, man. So who's it for you, man?
Yeah. I'm just get Jimmy John's the fuck out of here. Like it's the driest, most plainest, ordinary sandwich. Bro, that whole claim to fame is being fast. Like, they commercials don't even talk about how good the sandwich is. Like, hey, we'll be there.
They don't even
so they say motto, we'll be there.
They just took the McDonald's approach, to be honest. We'll get you your sandwich fast.
Well, not even that. They, out of all of these, besides Subway, they got bumfuck locations everywhere. They got shit everywhere.
And that's how. And I realized that, which it's not even a credit to them, really. I mean, it's an awesome marketing campaign. The whole, quick, super fast thing.
Freaky fast.
Freaky fast. They only deliver within a 5-minute radius. So it's not even like they just, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody could do that. Like, we only deliver if you quick enough for us to deliver too.
I mean, they are on bicycles, so I'm just saying.
But then again,
they deliver in cars.
They can fit that.
Oh. They're always on bicycles in the commercials. I kind of forgot. They used to deliver to the box.
Yeah, they get those small ass little Nissan cubes or whatever they call it.
Yeah, but anyway, I even aside from them, I've only tried. I tried them once when when the commercials first start popping up all over the place. I'm like, at work, let's order, whatever. And I tried it and I didn't like it. And then the next go round, somebody was like, nah, you probably just ordered the wrong thing. Order this. I'm like, all right. Okay.
So this is where I got to disagree with you because I'm with 16. Jersey Mike's got to go. It's actually really good. But Jimmy John's got the spice East Coast Italian, and that is a great sandwich. And their kettle chips are to die for. Sometimes I go to that sucker just for the chips. They are great.
Well, Jersey Mike's was my next to go, only because I had only been there twice, and both times.
But I will say, out of all of these, they make a great buffalo chicken sandwich. That thing is on point. Talking
about Jersey Mike's?
Jersey Mike's, yes.
But Jersey Mike's also has a very good chicken Philly as well. Like, I'm not saying that as a slight on Jersey Mike's because they do have good food. I'm just saying based on the choices is the one that had to get up out of here. But their chicken Philly is like you put that up against any other Philly you get from somewhere else. It's that good. Their bread is that good. But
Jimmy John's, that spicy East Coast Italian, as long as they don't do like Taco Bell and take the great shit off the menu, Jimmy John's is staying. And them chips are great. The original kettle's great. The jalapeno, the salt and vinegar, all the flavors are great.
I will say that's the only thing I ever ate from there was, whenever people do like meetings and order, a bunch of food, like, oh, we're going to order from Jimmy John's. You want anything? Just give me a bag of chips. I'm good.
I rock a sandwich from Jimmy John's right this second, man. The bread is what really sets it off for me, man.
Bread is what maybe I just had a bad experience both times, but it was just dry and flavorless. Like it didn't.
Yeah, no, you got to get the spicy East Coast Italian. I'm telling you, that's the best thing on the menu by far. I don't know what 16 gets, but that.
Well, I'm just full transparency. I don't necessarily eat that stuff no more. But if I'm breaking my dietary restriction I set for myself, I'm going back to Firehouse.
Okay.
I'm going back to Firehouse.
All right, so I'm gonna look into their menu because it's something that has come up when we're trying to figure out what we have, and then it's like we look at Firehouse and it's like, do we? Don't? It's like,
Yeah,
and then
Go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, based on these on the options, it's actually probably the most affordable out of all of these. Like you can get a meal, and I ain't talking about no Subway like half-ass.
Subway hit your ass in the head, bam.
Firehouse gives you like a foot-long sandwich, a bag of chips, a drink for like under $11, and I don't know if any of these
and on top of that, they are actually smoking like the meats. Like Subway, you know what I'm saying? It's either
and they toast the bread.
Yeah, and or Subway, you know, they run it through the little toaster thing. Whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you get a cold.
Having myself toasted, that's not really a you see how that worked out for Quiznos. That's not really a selling point for me. But
oh my God, I used to love Quiznos. Had the best salads.
Yeah, I was gonna say they soup were actually
good.
They had a turkey provolone ranch, or turkey ranch and Swiss, or something like that. That thing good, man.
Oh my God, with that raspberry vinaigrette, what?
I don't think their restaurants were well kept because like every time I saw Quiznos, it was ratchet as fuck.
Well,
versus
they used to have a bougie one in Vinings right next to this Bank of America, not that far. That one was kind of bougie.
That one
was
really dope. That's the one I used to go to. You know, it fits my personality.
Of course, it fits your personality.
I never been to a Subway that I was just like, oh my goodness, this is a very nice establishment. I've never been in that kind of Subway.
Well, like we mentioned earlier, Subway's in the category of McDonald's. Them motherfuckers are everywhere. So
yeah.
You know.
Well,
but no, I have been to
that
McDonald's.
much to open one, so
that too.
You can get a Subway for $50,000.
No, the hell you can't.
I mean,
I wish
you can get.
Yes,
what?
you can. On the list of
I thought they were like $250 or $300.
No, it depends on where you're gonna get it. Like when you're doing like a small location, like inside of another, like a gas station or somewhere, like your buy-in investment is much smaller than if you're gonna get a standalone building. That's why so many of them are like inside of gas stations and other places.
Yeah, or in shopping centers and shit like that.
Yeah, like it's cheaper. Trust me, I looked into it.
For a minute, it seemed like all the Subways were in Walmart.
Yeah, because you're only paying rent for a small part of it. You know, you're buying. There's so many of them; it can't be that expensive.
No, this is.
So you can franchise it. The franchise fee is only $15,000, but you gotta pay. You're responsible for paying the construction and equipment leasing, which can get up to $260.
It can. Now your portfolio may only have to show your assets at a certain point, which is, $500,000 to $1 million sometimes, or a quarter. But I mean, you can get somebody to throw some money in the account and give it back. You just got to show your portfolio looks a certain way, but the actual buy-in is less than 50 or less.
Yeah.
And I would think that if you had a Subway franchise, you could definitely make a profit. Like you could get over
for sure
$500 to $1 million just in that one location, depending on where it is.
I want them
to a travel location, like out in the middle of nowhere where they ain't got no options.
Yeah, like them gas stations that be having the McDonald's on the side of the gas station with the drive-through and everything.
Facts. The love stations that always have, like when you travel to certain places, it's kind of Love's becomes like Quick Trip. You're like, oh God, they have Love's, clean bathrooms and great, little restaurants.
I've never heard of Love's. Wow. Okay. I need to check that.
Really?
Have you heard of? Oh damn, that's a different company. It's basically Pilot and Flying J. That's their competition.
Now Pilot I've heard of.
Yeah. So Love is basically another Pilot or Flying J.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I can slide in a couple of news items, I guess you'd say. One of them I wanted to shout out first off has to do with Khujoe, man. Him dropping yet another one of those absolutely excellent, hilariously funny snack plug videos, man. It's great, man. Like if you're not subscribing to Khujoe's channel, please. It's right up here on the screen. Just search for Khujoe on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. You're missing out if you're not.
Cool visuals, by the way, look really dope.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Please make sure and check him out. We're asking you to, but we're kind of telling you, like, go subscribe, like, do it. You'll like it. And the other thing I want to add in is that Easy and I did an aftermath on Saturday, man. We did a mashup with this podcast called ZZ Talk. We talked to Zeus and Zeno. We had so much fun talking to them guys about some of everything, man, from politics to sports to even Easy and his goddamn fantasy football.
Hey,
but we talk.
And I just want to mention, since we did talk to them, y'all got y'all pick wrong. We won.
We sure did. They both picked against the Saints in their football pick'em pool, and we won the game on. We won the game on Sunday, and the Falcons couldn't even win there. They couldn't even not score right. Like the time they needed not to score a touchdown, they scored a touchdown. Falcons gone Falcon. But I wasn't saying on that to mess with the Falcons. I was saying that please support. Khujoe just dropped his new video. Atl Diva has her YouTube channel, Cassandra Octavia, and check out the aftermath from this past weekend with ZZ Talk. We had a lot of fun talking to them. We got more aftermaths coming up real soon. None next week or this weekend coming up. Don't have any, but the following week we're keeping it moving with more guests and everything. So definitely appreciate that. Easy, good stuff, man. On your one gotta go. You picked a hell of a one here. You didn't do this, and
this was a good one.
It was a good one.
Thank you.
We should do since we back to talking hip hop, we should do a hip hop edition next.
Yeah, there's a few, and I wish I would have known we were gonna get so in depth to music tonight.
None of us knew. Trust me.
I love one that's got like 9 on there.
Yeah.
And instead of one gotta go, I think we gotta pick a row. Like which rows gotta get the hell out.
I got you.
All right.
That's what we'll do.
All right. If we got a little bit of time, I can go ahead and squeeze the snack plug in real quick, man. I don't have it on me, but I am sharing the screen.
Okay, cool. Because you sharing this, not letting me play your. I need, like I said, I need your new theme song, man. We gotta,
I keep forgetting. All right, yeah, I definitely send it to you.
He said,
all right.
I feel like really some of these artists that we'd be asking for tracks, man.
But yeah, so this is the new limited edition Edie's Pumpkin Spice Latte. To the point M16 was just making, I did plug this one on my latest fall edition snack plug, and I'm gonna bring it to you guys today because I feel like there's a big audience for this ice cream. I am not part of that audience. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin spice in general. I'm kind of coming around. Historically, I hadn't tried it, but with this latest edition, I get it because there were a couple in there that I had really liked. Even before I narrowed it down to those 3, some other pumpkin spice flavors that I had really liked. I mean, it's essentially the same stuff. It's cinnamon, it's cloves, it's nutmeg, all the stuff that you put in a sweet potato pie is just pumpkin. You know what I mean? So if you like sweet potato pie, you'll like pumpkin spice for all those people who are reluctant to try it. But pumpkin spice lattes is something that to me, it started this whole thing. That the white girls got it from Starbucks, and then they brought it to every other product across the country. And Edie's captured what I think the flavor of a pumpkin spice latte actually is. It's not sweet, and I think that's because it's a light ice cream. Says it all right here, coffee light and pumpkin light ice cream. So it wasn't like I didn't get a whole lot of flavor from it. But again, that may be because it's light ice cream, but also maybe because they're trying to make it taste like a latte, which is essentially just milk with flavor into it. You know what I mean? So milk coffee with flavoring. But anybody who likes lattes, long-winded way of saying that this captured what a latte tastes like in an ice cream. I am not a fan personally, but I get the vision of what they were doing. I don't drink lattes. So, if you drink lattes or if you like pumpkin spice, you would definitely like this. So I'm plugging all the pumpkin spice, all the latte drinkers, all you people out there, plugging y'all to Edie's pumpkin spice latte.
Nice. And I would give you the high budget applause, but I can't do it right now. So
do it on your phone. Pull it up right now. No, I'm joking.
No, that's probably a good way to do it then.
But yeah,
it'd be funny.
And that's it. Let me stop showing before y'all see my 40,000 emails again.
And I ain't got it on here. I need to put it back on my phone. But yeah, the high budget applause, like, I don't know, drop in something right here to get, yeah, all right. All right. So now that's some good stuff right there, Khujoe. And again, he gets way more in depth. Check out that YouTube channel, man. I was laughing my ass off at just, I don't know, just all of it, man. It's good shit.
Thank you.
All right. So I guess now we're moving into random. And it's exactly what it says is. I like that Khujoe in the caption, he put random rants because that's what it's become. It's not just off the top of your head. It's whatever's been pissing you off or irking you that you just get off your chest. So that's exactly what it is. And I want to try to encourage people to have like a random rant in the comment. Well, like what's pissing you off? Like if you want to comment, put it in the comment section.
Yeah.
And we'd like to read some of them, you know, or you can text it to us 678-800-1677. All right. Text them, put them in the comments, or you can email it, the radio show inbox at gmail.com.
Nothing racist. We read anything else, just nothing racist.
Yes, we're trying not to attract those kind of people.
Look, you can be sexist, you can be transphobic, homophobic. No, I'm joking.
But racism is where we go.
That's where we draw the line. Okay? That's where we stop.
You can talk about as many ugly babies as you want, but don't talk about black people or minorities.
See, I talk about ugly babies and everybody gives me side eye because they want to say something, but they just don't have the balls to say anything. But I just think you should not give accolades to a not cute baby.
Diva got hard there for a second. She was like,
"Is that your random?
Is that your random?"
It's not my random, but I connect with that because everybody gets uncomfortable when you be like, "Oh,
people be lying about these people's kids."
This is hilarious though. That Diva is like she's like the girliest girl on the planet. And she basically just told somebody to pull up if they got a problem with what they said.
There's no such thing as an ugly baby though, guys. Come on now. Come on, guys.
The hell you mean?
Hey, bro. I can hold my beer, bro. I can show you some.
I know people who have said their own babies look weird, and I mean they said it with the most honesty ever. So I'm just saying.
So who's taking the plunge for? You know what? I'll do it. I'll jump in first. Man. Okay, so I just want to say that with all the things going around in the world today, that people talk about this is dangerous. Watch yourself. Be careful. I'm gonna say this right now for the record. The most dangerous person on the planet is the person who thinks they can cook but cannot. That person is a terrorist. You should be weary of them.
That's facts. I agree with that.
Is this like the potluck, the person who brings something to a potluck, or are you just saying just in general?
Just in general.
No, he's talking about the person that he's tried their food before and it was trash. And yet they're still posting food on social media.
First off, 16 did not try their food. If you know me like you know me, then it's like certain stuff I ain't touching anyway. But I'm just saying, the most dangerous person on the planet is a person who thinks they can cook, but they can't. It's like, oh, you can't hurt. I don't know, just make my name. You can't hurt Shirley's feelings and tell her that her dressing is terrible, but somebody needs to tell her because it's bad. You know?
Why not? That's what I'm saying. Be honest.
But that's a dangerous person. I've spoken my piece with that. Also, if I can just slide this in here too, I've said this before to you guys off air, but also the people who announce that they're taking a break on social media, kill yourself. Just log out. You don't have to act like social media is such this big distraction that you gotta just don't log in or don't check it.
Nobody cares.
Yes, nobody cares. Like I'm taking a long break.
Then 2 weeks later, I'm back, guys.
I'm back, y'all. I normally don't do this. So there we go.
Easy, what you got?
All right, y'all. Y'all got one job next Tuesday. Please don't fuck this up. Y'all got one job. And I'm talking specifically to my woke black male friends out there that are trying to say, oh man, they both evil. They both terrible. Man, one of them you was calling Uncle Joe when he was standing next to the first black president. Y'all was all happy. Oh, that's Uncle Joe. I fuck with him, blah, 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 blah. You weren't worried about the crime bill between 2008 and 2016. So what's the difference now? That's all I'm saying.
Good shit. Go vote.
Khujoe, what's your random?
So my random M16 and I kind of talked about this for a second, just in like a little side. This is not in our text in our chat, texting, and I want to put this in a nice way, but like, stop fucking posting them quizzes. Nobody wants to see that shit. Please, like do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the quiz. Yeah, I'm not stopping you from having fun, because you know sometimes people think those quizzes are fun. Like, oh, which Power Ranger are you, or which member of the Golden Girls are you, or what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the quiz. Just don't post it. You don't have to post it to social media. Nobody wants to see that shit. Nobody.
Me included.
Yeah. Also,
I just keep scrolling.
Yeah, and also the only time I really stop and take a look, because sometimes it looked like a photo that they posted. Like sometimes it'll be a side by side of that person who posted it with, like, I don't know, a celebrity. Let's just say B. Arthur. And I'd be thinking, like, are they trying to, like, did somebody make a joke that they look like B? And then I stop and it's a fucking link for the quiz. I'm like, man, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my God.
So anyway, also stop posting those GIFs that you got to match it up with you got to try to stop it. Stop.
Yeah, those are terrible. Hey, also shout out to Facebook for the snooze button. I've been using it a lot these past few days.
It's a friendship saver. You take 30 days off from somebody and you realize how much. Yeah.
I can't wait to unsnooze you guys after election day, but I gotta say, I've had to snooze a lot of you motherfuckers, because y'all killing me. Y'all are killing me.
And the last one, before I piggyback on your snooze button thing, is fuck, I just lost it that fast. Those I won against this person, where you answered the fucking question.
See, that's what I thought you was talking about at
that's
first.
Just a play on that's just a play on words. Like, they don't even really be real fucking questions. It's just a play on words. No, it said he had. You didn't read. Like,
snooze. That person's getting snoozed too.
Whoever created those things, I hate those.
Yeah, it really is a relationship, a friendship saver.
It's a friendship saver. And Khujoe, before we go to Diva and get hers too, another one that you were saying with that about, you know, people posting those quizzes or whatever. Like, they have some folks who if you like a status and they're making up like, oh, you like my status, now you got to do such and such. Don't send me no message with that, because I'm not doing it.
I ain't.
I've seen people. Somebody was trying to do like an expose, like trying to expose one of the candidates' like proposals or whatever. And at the end of this expose, it says copy and paste to share with other people. So y'all been doing a chain message, and that's how you exposing somebody, and you putting copy and paste when there's clearly a share button that could be used.
Yeah, just use your finger, and then you see copy, then click paste, and then just say hello.
I never understood those either, where it's like copy and paste as opposed to just sharing like the original. That never made sense. I'm not going no extra effort to share some shit. No.
It was a full-blown expose, and they were like, make sure you copy and paste so you can share the word. It's like,
but I've never used on any social media platform. I've never used block, snooze, or mute. Twitter got mute I never used it. I just stopped at least for Instagram and Facebook. I just stopped looking, and the algorithm fixes it and shows me less of you. You know what I mean? Like, I just let it do it that way. But
so Khujoe's like,
I don't know why. It feels like extra effort. It feels like I'm giving you extra effort to have to go to that section and hit mute or block. I don't know why. I'm weird about that.
I have a piggyback on that.
Facebook makes it very convenient.
My piggyback on that random is, I have two, but one's going to piggyback off of that. Listen, you people on social media who take the time to mute, snooze, or block people who actually don't even talk to you, you need help and you need therapy. Why would you block somebody who doesn't even talk to you in the first place? They don't message you. They don't like any of your stuff. They didn't even try to be your friend. Like, who pre-blocks somebody on social media or snoozes their stuff when they literally don't talk to you, you have a problem. You're thinking about the person and blocking them or snoozing them. They're clearly not thinking about you.
Rent free.
Go get help. Like
that's what we call a relatable blocking. Clearly, you are affiliated with somebody, and
you feel important, and you're not. The person that you're trying to block doesn't consider you a factor or important. So just save yourself the time and only block people who actually try to communicate with you that you literally don't want to talk to. Don't block people or snooze people who are actually not even communicating with you. Like, you just look dumb. My original rant, my official rant is adults. We have to be better listeners. Like, it's amazing to me how many people like listen to you talk but don't listen to you talk. Like, we've got to practice active listening, because it's really annoying when I've said something and you come back and say the opposite or say something as if, where were you? Like, this is a very juvenile listening skill. Like, but so many people actually, when you're talking, they're not even there with you listening. So could we please just listen the first time and actually practice active listening? That would be great. Thank you so much. Fine diva who doesn't want to repeat herself 15 times.
I got another random. If I could, I got another random. I hate when people don't listen. Like, somebody can say something and they could really be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could really be passionate about what it is that they're saying, and they want you to listen, but you just didn't hear them at all, and then you just repeat the same thing. Like, we have to practice active listening. We're adults at this age. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my rant.
Well,
wow.
Can I pop in one last thing, since we just adding multiple randoms? I want to piggyback on something that Easy said about making sure that you go out and vote. Please make sure you go out and vote. And the reason why is because the government literally gave you $1,200 at the beginning of the pandemic and then told you to go fuck off. So please go vote. Because they did. They literally gave you $1,200 and told you, well, make it enough.
Make it last 8 months.
Yes. Shit been going on since spring, and they gave you $1,200 in like April. It's damn near Thanksgiving.
And let's take it a step further. $1,200 ain't a lot of money. Like, no. If you in California, is that even half your rent?
Shit, if you're in Atlanta,
if you're in Georgia,
if you're in Georgia, you here?
That's not even.
I know in Georgia is a little bit cheaper. Obviously not by much.
No, in Georgia, that's exactly your rent on the low end these days.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine California. What is $1,200 going to get you?
They literally told you.
New York.
20 days in your apartment.
They literally gave you $1,200 and pointed over there and told you to go fuck off. Right over there.
Yep.
They literally said,
hey, what's 1,200 divided by 9?
Let's do the math here.
That's how much they're paying you a month.
Oh God. That's not even.
Most of them spend that on like dinner.
It's $133. $133
a month.
Oh boy!
I just love the fact that he came back like in his dad voice and was like, "It's $133."
Now divide that by 160.
I just want to let you know that that's not even your Publix bill, 133. Which is divided by what? We're doing math here on the radio show.
160.
Definitely facts. You might be
not even his monthly snack allowance.
83 cents.
You might get away with that at Kroger.
83 cents. So what? For 83 cents a day, you can support an American.
No, that's an hour. I think that's your hour.
Oh my God!
I think you made 83 cents an hour since the pandemic.
They give more to like the homeless dogs an hour. Now, you ever notice? Like, that's another random. I can't stand those commercials that go on and give me like a pitiful looking dog out here in the streets when you don't even stand up for actual human rights, but you want to. Now, it used to be like 25 cents a day. Now it's like $1 or something a day to feed a homeless ass dog. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was about to say, you hit the hammer on the nail right there, because they really be advertising these dogs like they got some civil rights issues they got to fix, and
it'll be the same people that when like a person's killed in the streets, like, maybe they deserved it. But see, I'm not even gonna go there today. That's gonna be for another show.
Yeah, police start shooting dogs.
Thank you. Oh my God, the revolt in the country if they start just shooting random dogs.
Did somebody email me the awesome topic that Khujoe came up with? Because it'll get lost. Did somebody send it? Do we remember? We're in trouble.
Artists that you think shouldn't be as big as they are.
Okay. Somebody got to put that in the chat because it'll get lost. We'll come back next week like, all right, let's go. Well, let's get it going. It's like
nobody's
gonna get lost in the chat. Why don't you just type it now?
You guys, I have like 9,758 emails that I just realized I have in my one mailbox. I have several, but dang.
Wow. I'm doing this right now, housekeeping on air so that we don't forget.
It's still not nearly as much as Khujoe's.
Yeah, no.
Well, I have days like a couple times a year that I actually sit down for like an hour and try to purge out.
Yeah, I do the same. I still need Google and Yahoo to fix that. If I'm hitting select all, I want all them bitches deleted.
So did I get it right? Artists
want to go through and find the ones
that should not be as big as they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I pick one sender, like let's just say, I don't know, Old Navy. I should be able to delete any message that I've gotten from Old. Like there should be smarter controls over managing your mailbox.
We should talk about that at some point too, about features that should be, self-explanatory that aren't available. Like select all, you should be able to, like you said, search a name, like anything with this in it, delete it.
Yep.
I mean, Gmail's smart enough, send me ads in that motherfucker, so you should be smart enough to be able to let me do that.
Right.
Whatever. It's cool. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I
think it's something else driving it. Maybe they get a certain because emails are free. Maybe there's some based on the size of.
Oh, that might be like might be like a bank account incentive. Like if you don't have X amount in your inbox, they gonna delete it.
could be. So man, this was a good one, man. Talking some hip hop. This is like old school, man. I'm loving that, man.
And
proud of the hip hop awards was started at 9:00, so we might be able to, I don't know, watch that and talk about it.
Catch a little bit of it and talk about it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see it tomorrow, but
I catch the highlights on social media.
Can y'all just give me the cliff notes? Thanks.
Yeah, because I know we're gonna be talking a lot about we're gonna have to talk about the election next week, so all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do a live like?
No, this is too important. Like I need to be on top of this. It'd be hard pressed for me to like pay attention and.
Yeah, I was about to say but we'll figure that out. But no, I wanted to give you some kudos. 16, you didn't have a single old man moment as we were talking about hip hop today. I'm very proud of you.
You didn't. Yay! High budget applause.
You knew majority of the people we were talking about. I am impressed. I don't know if it's my oldest niece or what. But maybe Spotify's recommending the people. I don't know what's going on.
No, I knew about him, and I already know what type of caption Khujoe is probably going to put on me, which I'm here for it. I even just deal with that. But yeah, I know more about hip hop than I guess I put on when I'm on the air, because it's not just, hey, let's turn on Common from 2004 and let it roll. I check into other stuff here, but yeah.
Is that peak Common for you? 2004.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, like 05, yeah.
04 to 06 was peak Common.
Yeah.
Yeah, still was doing good stuff, but that was like him at like on the way up.
When he dropped the
other guy's name that was out with Common? They had the beard. Huh?
Lupe Fiasco.
Most Def. Whatever happened? What's going on with him? I used to love this one record he had. I need to go listen to it.
Oh yeah, this is definitely when we know the show is over. Most Def reference right now. Yep. So we will.
Hey, that's funny.
We will catch you guys.
I think he moved. He changed his name back. He stopped being referred to as Most Def and wanted to be referred to by his real name, and he moved to Africa. And so I don't know. Yeah, I think it's some Dave Chappelle type stuff.
Yeah, I think he was definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
He was Most Def. You said what?
KRS-One, overrated, underrated?
I don't know enough about him, to be honest.
I don't know enough about him.
KRS-One says that voting Like, go just Google KRS-One and vote, and then we can come back and talk about it. You'll be interested.
I saw the cliff notes of what he said. I feel like our conversation next week is going to pivot us into that legend conversation too. How you get deemed such. We throw
that word around a lot. Icon and legend get thrown around a whole bunch.
We'll save it for next week. I feel like some people who have that.
The Billboard charts have a lot to do with that.
That too, but I feel like a lot of people who earned that title early on didn't necessarily work for that. It didn't. It should be. Yeah.
That's gonna be a good one. I like to pivot towards hip hop, man. It's back to the roots of what this show was in the first place. Yeah. Good shit, Atl Diva. All right.
Welcome.
All right, y'all. It was a good one. Easy, Khujoe.
You didn't want to hire women.
Well, time to close the camera on now.
The question was, do you like, for a man's face wash, do you prefer liquid soap or foaming soap for like a face cleanse? We know Easy likes foaming, so have you ever thought about it? Or
I'm trying to think for a face wash.
Yeah, because what do you think is gonna get in your beard better, a foam or a liquid?
Probably I could if it has a good enough foaming agents in, you know what I mean? Like if it's a foamy enough liquid, I'm cool with that. I think the foam, I would be okay with it personally. I just think the foam maybe most people would think that it's doesn't have maybe as much oil in it, or some maybe adding the air. I don't know. All you're doing is adding air to it, I guess. I'm not sure how the whole
Well, it starts as a liquid, and the only thing that turns it into foam is the actual pump. So you're saying you would probably be more comfortable. You would get more moisture with like a creamy liquid.
Yeah.
Like face beard wash, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's fair. So I'm gonna probably make that one first. I will send you guys like a whole test kit when I make it. So it's probably gonna be like maybe a week. If I get everything like by next week, I'll try to within the next 2 weeks.
Got it. Now my only problem with foaming soaps is that which I love them that it's fun, it's light, it's airy, it's foam soap. But my only problem with foam soaps is it'd be hard to find ones in the store that's antibacterial. Like most of them say gentle hand soap. They don't necessarily say, you know what I mean?
With the Rona out here, we need the full antibacterial treatment.
Oh no, I'm cool with the gentle hand soap. Look, we got all of Bath and Body Works' whole collection of scented hand soaps, and they smell just lovely. It's just if you scrub long enough, something gonna die.
Well, that's true.
I just want to point out that Diva, you're opening that like an absolute pro, by the way. You lush. Oh, look at that.
Thank you.
That whole bottle gonna be gone before the end of the episode.
My McDonald's cup is just lovely, so I don't look up here like a lush.
Oh, well, this is recording, so they already know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This is the locker room.
The pregame. There you go.
I mean, as I play Among Us.
But they are
a what?
Among Us.
Who's Among Us?
He's playing it.
Oh.
It's a game.
I haven't played it yet. I downloaded it. I never played it.
Dude, you need to. I can give you the code. We're playing it.
Wait, hold up. So, what are the in-app purchases? That's always my thing. When I see it, but it said when I downloaded, it had a little asterisk next to it. Said in-app purchase.
It is fully free. Like, there's no app purchases, none. Like, you literally start a lobby, and you can have up to 10 people in the lobby, and y'all just play.
Maybe I was tripping there. I thought it said in-app purchases. I'm like, you got to buy skills, and people can run faster than other people, and I ain't feel like getting into all that. I hate games where you can buy skill. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like 2K. Looking at you, 2K.
Yeah. You don't have to be good at the game. You don't have to develop any real skill. You can just buy your way to the top.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not mess with my hair.
Which I'm fine with that. Like, hey, I'm either going to grind for it or you're going to let me pay for it. Yeah. If I got the money or the skill, either way.
I just like, you got to be good, man. You got to be 100% good and build your way from the ground up. Which I'm just anti microtransactions in games anyway. Like once I pay for the game, that should be it. Like don't charge me nothing else.
That's how they nickel and dime you. The best one that they had, Khujoe, on their
yeah, about to say EA is the king of that.
Spartan Ops was like the best free thing that was with a game, and they gonna stop it. Like we played Halo 4 and we played. Remember when they had them double XP days? We'd hop on the one board we know where we get XP to the point where it was just like, all right.
Yeah, I hate DLC like that. Like if it's gonna be a skin or something like if you want to pay to have, you know, super, like if you got like a DC game and you want to pay to have Superman wearing his I don't know, black Superman suit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that's cool, but don't just make me pay outright for a character.
For more campaign,
additional, additional campaign, additional.
That's how they bleed you to death, because eventually all these gaming systems gonna be, you know, without discs anyway, and then they just, you know.
To be perfectly honest, if they charge me everything up front, if it's $120 to get everything, I'd rather have that. And don't make it an option. Like, yeah, you can still buy the $60 one, but there's a $100 one over. Like they do that now, but like just let everybody be on equal playing field. Like just only offer the $100 version.
So you say you either ante up and pay the $160 and get everything, or you just don't play.
Yeah. That's it.
You just say bleep your add-ons. Like,
yeah,
I'm good. He said I'm good.
All those add-ons. I hate them.